to start recording. So this broadcast will be recorded and it will be available on the website later for use. I'm going to go to the next screen. This is breaking news. Probably many of you saw the news in our publication that's sent out on Fridays to leaders, Headlines and Happenings, and that news was that after Mother's Day, the cookie sale has been extended for booth sales and goal-getter orders. So we have another week of cookies available for you guys to do some more booth sales, some goal-getters, so you don't miss any orders. Our cupboards now will be open through May 18th. Kingston will be open through May 17th. And we're all on this call tonight to do rewards learning. And now you've got another week to go. We're going to open that rewards, keep that open until May 22nd. Anyone who is ready can go ahead and file their rewards order, just submit their rewards order. But it is extended another week to allow for those troops who are ready and able and anxious to have another booth sale or go ahead and pick up more goal-getter cookies.
Marianne, my screen didn't change. So let's have a show of hands if you're, what does that say at the top?
Okay, I cannot see anybody but can see the window. Let's see. Oh, okay, let me see if this does it. No, it says...
I see the one with the cow on it.
Okay, that was the one I should be up to. So hopefully, okay, thank you everyone for helping us move along on this. I see that you guys can see it now. Thank you. So this broadcast is so we can talk about final rewards. The final rewards for the girls are the things that you could see on the cookie card, the patches, the cookie credits, the Comfy Cow neck pillow, which is the reward girls earn if they sold 250 boxes or more. The final rewards also include the 600, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 box clubs, and the extraordinary entrepreneur. So we want to be sure that every girl got credit for all the boxes she sold. So we are doing this webinar tonight so you can be sure that you are up to date with cookies that the troop has gotten and that girl order tabs, the girl order totals are up to date so girls earn what they should have earned. And we're going to show you some live eBuddy screens. If all works out as we planned, we'll show you what that all looks like. Now there we go. So the patches that girls would be earning for the final rewards would be the booth patches, the gift of caring patches, and the cookie techie patches.
And that slide didn't come through either.
It didn't. I wonder why. Let me see. I'm going to go back one and okay. Let's see if we can click through the next one. No, it's on pause again.
Oh dear.
Now, what do you see? I'm sorry, everyone. My technical ability is limited, but we've practiced, and I thought we had it down.
Yeah, it worked when we practiced. Maybe that was our mistake.
It says it's showing the screen again.
Okay, I'm seeing the final rewards with the Comfy Cow neck pillow.
Now let me see. Okay, so these...
There we go, yes.
Okay, so these are the patches that must be... To earn these patches, your girl order tab has to be updated. So there must be booth cookies on the girl order tab. There's a column for booth cookies that girls would have sold. You have to have put those cookies that the troop got into the girl line. We'll show you what that is later, but a girl has to have had 5 booth cookies. She has to have had 5 either op drop or gift of caring boxes on that girl order tab, and it could be a combination of those two, and she has to have sold 12 boxes on the digital order card to earn the Cookie Techie Patch. That happens, that last one happens automatically because that information is fed directly into eBuddy from the digital order card. Okay, so as I was just saying, the final rewards are calculated on the boxes sold in eBuddy. I'll show you what that looks like on when we go to live, because we're going to use a real troop and their real results, and we can see what it looks like and how to go about updating this Girl Orders tab. So the Girl Orders tab details how many boxes each girl sold, and that's what you want to be totally up to date on. The final rewards are shipped to the service unit cookie tier in early July. So those often are distributed later in the year. So now let's look at eBuddy. Roberta, would you switch the screen to look at eBuddy, please?
Okay, I have eBuddy up, and I think you need
I need to click. Okay.
Control to me. And I no longer see the hands of people. So this might take a minute. Hopefully it'll work.
Okay, am I sure? Yes, I want to make Roberta the presenter.
Okay, I'm clicking on show my screen.
And we see eBuddy.
Good, hallelujah. Okay.
So we're going to look at this Troop 40141, and now Roberta's going to click on the Girl Orders tab, which is what you're going to work on updating. So here, this troop has lots of cookies sold, and down at the bottom you can see there's a minus 360. That's how many boxes this troop has taken from a cupboard or has left over from their initial order, but no girl has gotten credit for selling those cookies. They have been sold, I know, but we need to make sure that a girl gets credit for it because we want to be sure all the girls get what they earned. So let's click on a girl. We're going to click on Ella. We're clicking on Ella partially because, well, it's just one of the girls in this very active troop. But you see here she has an initial order box. She got 59 boxes there. But then this is what a girl screen looks like if she had all these DOC sales. The DOC, the digital order card. So this girl was very active in digital order card. So if we wanted to give Ella more credit, we want to give some of those 360 boxes to Ella, we would go up to this add a trans, which it means add a transaction screen. Okay, so Roberta has clicked that. You can see down toward the bottom of the screen there are green boxes. If you did the initial order cookies, you remember that's what it looked like when you were placing the initial order for the cookies that came on the truck. So the first box is a blank, and I would use that to be very specific. So here I think we should put in this girl was participant in a street fair, and this, whether you fill this in or not, is totally up to you. But if you look at this next year, you might like to know details like this, or you might like to know which booth sale Ella participated in, or which one Amy was in, and who did all of them. It's just helpful details for you. Now we would skip over to the cookie booth column, and we're going to put in 17 boxes because we divided up what cookies were sold. We're putting in 17 boxes for Ella, and then we're going to go all the way over to the right to the OK. You're going to click that. And now that information has been added to Ella's totals. So we see she was in a street fair, she's got the 17 boxes, and as Roberta's pointing out, you save that, and so you see save in progress. Girl updated, okay, click.
Let's give another girl some cookies in the other column to show how you distribute goal-getter orders.
Okay, why don't you do that, Roberta? You can go to the switch to girl over here.
Right. So let's go to Emily. And again, we're going to We don't get upset about where it says initial order locked. That's just her initial order. We can't do anything with that. But we click on add a transaction and we see the bottom. So let's put in here that this was her goal getter order from 6. And so anything, if it's not a booth and it's not for op drop, then it has to be either cookie other or toffee booth or toffee other or GOC. So all of those columns, you can just put the cookies wherever they belong. So for Emily, we're going to put under cookie other, we're going to put 2 boxes. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go all the way over to the OK. And then we're going to hit save. And she's updated. Okay, so then we're going to return to the summary. And then that shows us now what the troop looks like with those added cookies. And now they have still 341 boxes to add. We can see Ella's cookies from the cookie booth right here. And we can see Emily's cookies from her goal getter right here. And so you would continue to do that until all your cookies were distributed to the appropriate girls. Marianne?
Okay, so that's what you need to do to be sure that the girls are getting what they sold. I know Roberta just referred to it, but I'm just going to throw in the fact that lots of people picked up toffees and they may not remember that they need to give a girl credit for having sold those toffees. That was a separate transaction. It was sort of part of initial order. It wasn't put in eBuddy. It was a separate transaction through our cupboards, but that you may have done quite some time ago, so don't forget to give girls credit for the toffee. Someone asked, and while we're on the screen, I'm going to cover this. Someone just asked about these payments here. This is up to the troop. Some troops like to do their accounting here on this screen. It tells you could keep track of what you've been paid. If there were booth cookies, you could put in there the total amount that was collected at the booth for each girl, like 17 times $4. You would put that in for Ella. But this is totally up to you. This is not something that the council refers to, but this is a convenience for you. If you want that, do use it, but it is up to the troop how they want to use that, or if they want to use that. So the next thing go ahead, Roberta.
Here's another question. I'm not quite sure if I understand it, but it says with our extra boxes, we sold them to family members, not a cookie book. Maybe she meant booth. Would I enter into booth anyway? No, that would be cookie other. So if you're talking about the extra cookies from when eBuddy rounded up to full cases and you gave them to various family members who bought them, or maybe they went out and sold them, the girl gets credit for those as other. Okay, Marianne.
So that's where a goal getter would go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the rewards tab. Okay, so you probably used this earlier in the year when you went to the initial order rewards to make sure girls got their 100, 125, I'm sorry, 150 and 175 initial order rewards, but this time we're looking at the final rewards order. So we're going to click on fill out, because after you've updated all the girls, those boxes in the girl orders tab that we just looked at, once you're complete with that and given girls credit for all those boxes that were at the bottom of the screen, you go over to this rewards tab. And then, as I said, you're going to go to that fill out feature. And then now we're opening up, we're on that same troop 40141. And this screen is very big. So you see this is a big troop, so you see all these girl names and how many rewards they got. Roberta, click on a girl.
Okay, we'll click on Ella again. We're getting to know her.
So there you have enumerated what Ella has earned. Now, I I'm just going to say again, Roberta pointed out 340 more boxes have to be assigned in this troop. But if we were complete, this is what Ella would have earned. She sold 30 boxes, therefore earning the theme patch. She sold 60 boxes, earning the super patch. Gift of Caring patch she earned because she sold 5 GFC or op drop packages, and there's a 0 there. That really is that is a confusing thing because this girl has earned it. The 0 means she is getting that. And then she's getting a booth patch because she sold 5 boxes or more. And she's earned the Cookie Tech patch because she had so many DOC, digital orders. And she's earned the 100 bar. The 100 bar is what's here because okay, up at the top it says she sold 142 boxes. So a girl earns the bars based on the highest amount of cookies she sold. So Ella sold 142, so she would get the 100 bar. If it were 242, she would be getting a 200 bar. She doesn't get the 100 and 200. No, it goes to the total number of boxes. So here you see she's getting the 100 bar. And back to the last screen,
Says
please.
100 plus, so that means I sold 100 and more than 100, but it didn't get to the 200 level, or I would have gotten the 200 plus bar. So it doesn't mean that she only sold 100. It's just that they're given out in 100 box increments.
And go back to the screen before this, please.
Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, then I have to hit cancel.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, and it's going to load again. Okay.
Okay, so would you pull down so we can see all the girl names there, and as we just did, we were checking to see what each girl's orders were. But then here is the troop order as it stands right now, and it gives you all of the totals of what's coming to the troop, how many of each thing are coming to the troop. When you have oh, okay, let me point out here that the 1,000, there's a 1,000 club reward, and the troop has to be sure that girls who sold 1,000 have made a choice. So you need to select which prize, which reward the girl is going to choose so that we can go ahead and get that on its way to her. So there is that choice in the 1,000, and there is also a choice in the 2,000. So be sure, go ahead, be sure that's done.
That earned at the 2,000 level, their parent is going to need to contact us to let us know what session of the camp they want to go to, and then we'll probably turn that over to the registrars or the director of whichever camp it is. But it's going to be important for them to let us know as soon as possible if they've already reached that level, even though you didn't put this submit the rewards order yet. They can still contact us and let us know that they earned it and what session they want to go to so we can get that rolling for them.
That's good information. So once you're done with this, the next thing you would do is go all the way to the bottom here to submit reward order and click that, please, Roberta. And now you see up at the top it says rewards submitted. That tells you you are done with that. If you went to do it again, if you went to change something, you could not. But let's say you did need to change something. You did make an error. Contact your service unit cookie chair because she can help unlock that for you. Council could too, but the best possibility is your service unit cookie chair because she's probably available at the time you're looking at the screen at 7 or 9 o'clock at night. That would be helpful to just call your service unit chair to ask her to fix that for you. Someone asked a question, Roberta, would you go back to, we're going to go to the girl note. I want to look at Ella. Someone said, Ella, can you click on Ella, please?
On the rewards screen?
Yes, on the rewards screen here. She said, well, in this, Angela said, this booth sales patch, it's not showing. Well, she did earn it.
Yeah, the very fact that it's listed there means that she did earn it. There's something fluky about the gift of caring and the booth sale patch, and I'm sure it has something to do with the way that they get entered in here by Little Brownie. So as long as it says that she gets the booth sale, she does. Let's look at somebody else who didn't get a booth sale, and you'll see. Here's somebody who didn't get anything. And see, there's nothing showing there. And then
Oh
let's
my
look.
goodness, that girl was 29 boxes. I hope she's getting one more box in her
Yeah.
basket. She's close
Oh,
to a patch.
here's a girl who has one reward, and hers is a theme patch. So she didn't earn the booth sale patch either. Not yet, but remember we have 300 and some boxes that have to be assigned yet.
Right, and we
And
put the
this is a
booth
real
patch
treat
in,
because
not
we
that no one
confirmed
else.
that she hasn't done that, and so she allowed us to do this with her troop to show everybody. So as long as it shows when you click on the girl, that means that she earned it. And this column is how many boxes did she have to sell. But for some reason it's not, it doesn't show right for gift of caring and booth. And that probably has something to do with the fact that it wasn't originally attributed to her. I don't know. But anyway, as long as it's listed there, she got it. Okay, so
Okay,
where do
so
we go?
now we're going to change screens, Roberta.
Okay, and
So let me
where
see.
are we going? Are we going to cookie
Okay,
credits?
here we are. I have to click through a few
Oh,
screens,
okay.
hopefully. We're happy to say we showed you live because that is much more helpful, we think, than seeing those screen captures. So Roberta's going to talk about cookie credits because that is another key thing that you want to be sure the girls are up to date in their Girl Orders tab so that girls can earn what they deserve. Roberta.
Correct. Okay, so they're going to earn cookie credits starting at 95 boxes. That amount is probably going to go up each year. We're working towards increasing our per girl average. 95 was our goal this year. I'm happy to say we exceeded that. Our per girl average right now stands at 97, so we're real happy about that. So if a girl sold 95 boxes, she earns $15 of cookie credit. Now if she earned that during her initial order, then her card's going to be mailed out in the next couple of days. But if she continued to sell after initial order, she sold goal-getters and she did a booth sale, then at the very end of the sale, when we're completing everything, which will probably be in June, money will be added to her card if she sold an additional 50 boxes, because girls get another $10 of cookie credits for every 50 boxes. And the maximum that they can get is $400.
So if this round that's getting mailed this week is for girls who sold 95 boxes or more, they're getting their cookie credit card. Later in June, we would be sending out cookie credits to girls who did not sell 95 boxes during initial order, but did subsequently reach the 95 box level and more. They will get cookie credit cards for the first time in June.
Right. And their card gets mailed directly to the girl. So you might want to alert the girls in your troop who earned them to be looking for that envelope from Girl Scouts Heart of the Hudson. It has a letter in it that tells her how many cookie credits she earned, what the cookie credits can be used for, and how she can check her balance at any point in time. These cards are good for 3 years. So girls who earn, a good deal of money, if they've earned $50 on their cookie credit card, they might spend 25 of it this year, but they might have some left over to use next year. So they can always check what their balance is by going to a website, and that's shown on the back of the card, and all that information is in the letter that comes with the card. And we would like you to point that out, because we feel that a lot of times that envelope comes and maybe it doesn't get opened, or the parent throws the letter away and then they don't know what they can use the card for. So please let your girls who earn cookie credits know that. Next screen, Marianne.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. So I think we pretty much covered this. The initial cookie credits are going out in the next couple of days. And then the second round, the cards will be mailed to the girls who did not earn at the initial order, but now have reached 95 or more. And those will go out probably mid-June. Additional credits will be earned by anyone who continued to sell after initial order, and that money will be credited at some point in June. So if they want to see if the money's been added yet, they can always check their balance on their card and they'll find out. But you got to give us until about the end of June before we get it all finalized. Okay, do we have any other questions that we might want to answer now?
Yes. Jen says, in my rewards tab, I have all of my girls showing as not earning G of C patch, gift of caring patch, but they had op drop. Will that count? If there are boxes in the op drop column or in the G of C column, and there are 5 boxes total in either column, then they will earn the op drop. I'm sorry, they will earn a gift of caring patch.
Right. And so again, if it shows up when you click on her name in that reward screen, that means that she earned it, even though it has a 0 there. Do we need to enter anything for cookie credit? No, that gets figured out by us. We get a report of what the girls sold, and so we take care of all that. So you don't have to enter anything for cookie credits. And they're getting the card in the mail. That question might have come in before we said that. Mailed directly to the girl to her home. Now, we always have some girls whose families move during the year, but their address does not get changed in our registration system. So some of those cards come back to us. So if somebody doesn't get their card and it's if they don't get their initial order earned card within the next couple of weeks, they should let us know, because there might be an error in the address that we have. And if they don't get their final one by the beginning of July, they should also contact us. We've had a lot of issues over the years, sometimes things you don't think of. You know, somebody's real name might be in our registration database as Kathleen, but in the troop she's called Katie, and so in eBuddy she was called Katie. This really shouldn't happen anymore since we take the girls' names right from Salesforce and put them into eBuddy, so those problems shouldn't happen anymore. But we've had things like that in the past too. So if they don't get their card, they should call us as soon as possible, and then we can look into it.
If a girl is not registered, if by any wild chance the girl sold cookies and had a temporary ID in eBuddy, she will not get the cookie credit unless she is registered for this year.
True.
Someone is asking, I'm looking at eBuddy right now and I'm in the girl order section. There is no tab to add a transaction. That could happen if this was submitted. I think the person who sent us that email should perhaps email me at mbrehl@girlscoutshh.org, and tomorrow I can look at your eBuddy and see if maybe you accidentally submitted, because once it's submitted you can't fix it. You could also talk to your cookie service unit cookie chair and see if she could do that for you. Someone asked if the leader is the person who needs to do this, who needs to do the updating of the girl orders tab. And I would say that really depends on what you've decided is the administration of cookies in your troop. If the cookie chair follows it all the way through, the cookie chair within your troop, she would be the one to do that. But sometimes the leader took over booth or goal getter, and then I would say that person. So someone in the troop has to be responsible for this, and that is troop by troop.
There's another question about the initial cookie credits. How do they get the extra booth credits? The cookies have to be assigned to them in the girl order screen like we just showed you, and then we pull a final report of what all the girls sold, and that gets compared to the initial cookie credit card mailing. And if the girl has sold more cookies, then we put the money on the card. We do that on this end. It goes on through a spreadsheet. So that's how those credits get added. But it has to be an additional 50 boxes to earn an additional $10. And there's one poor person out here who cannot hear us, and I don't know why.
And I'm thinking that perhaps Julia tomorrow, instead of staying on, maybe should tune in tomorrow to the website. We'll have it recorded, and perhaps we'll be able to manage that a little better for her.
Send her a message about that because she can't hear
Oh,
us.
thank you. Yes. So the girls, it says, should they keep the card if they use it up? They can keep the card, or sometimes they turn it in. That's really up to the troop. I mean, sorry, the girl, whether she keeps the card or not. But if this first round of initial order cookie credits is the end of her using it, then she could get rid of it. But if she has sold more cookies, then there's going to be more credit loaded onto that card, so she might want to keep it. The cards are good for 3 years. It says it in the letter that comes, but that definitely will be a question that people will ask you. Someone wants to know, do I divide the cookies sold at the booth sale to all the girls in the troop that participated? Yes. Sometimes you divide it up based on how long the people were there. Sometimes one girl's there for half an hour, someone else is there for 3. I think you got to figure out an amicable distribution of those boxes. I think we'll go to the next slide, Roberta.
Okay, we don't have any more questions? Nope.
No.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is just kind of a fun piece of information. The Operation Cookie Drop load-in day is June 4th. This is the 15th anniversary of Operation Cookie Drop, so we're very, very excited. We're going to have some special people at this event. If you haven't heard about this before or you've never been there before, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. It's on June 4th. The address is 2 Dana Road in Valhalla. There will be more information coming out through Headlines and Happenings and on our website. This is the Westchester County Police Association. That's the location. It used to be the Armory in Valhalla, but in the past few years it's become the Westchester Police Academy. Operation Cookie Drop is our program to send deployed military cookies. Okay, wait a minute. I'm not reading that right. This program, Operation Cookie Drop, which sends cookies to military who are deployed, was born out of the horrors of 9/11. There was a troop in the Ardsley Service Unit who decided after that horrible event that they wanted to ask their customers if they would buy a box of cookies for a soldier. And so they did sell cookies for the soldiers, and they shipped them off to soldiers that they knew who were deployed. And they did that at their own expense. They continued it the next year, and they got other troops involved that were in their service unit and surrounding service units. And they continued to do this, and each year it grew, and each year they got more service units to participate. It wasn't yet an official GSHH program because back then it was Westchester Putnam Girl Scout Council. But when we all merged in 2007 and became Girl Scouts Heart of the Hudson, this became the council's Gift of Caring program. It has grown and grown in leaps and bounds, and last year we sent about 90,000 boxes, actually a little more than that I believe, and they were sent to deployed military, mostly in Afghanistan and the Middle East. They were also sent to military and VA hospitals around our area. They went to Fleet Week. They went to the honor flights for World War II veterans and to Wounded Warrior Games. Each year, the wonderful volunteer who runs this, Allison Bergman, looks for new places, all military-associated places where she can deliver some cookies. Sometimes some of the bases that have a lot of deployed soldiers will do parties or events for the families that are still at home, and she might bring several cases of cookies to one of those events. She gets girls to go with her, and they have a great, great time. So our load-in day is when we have trucks that come to Valhalla that are going to take the cookies to a naval base in Baltimore, Maryland, from where they will be sent overseas. So troops can come and bring the cookies that they have sold for Operation Cookie Drop if they have them in hand. We also get the cookies that are the virtual cookies. So if you've put cookies for OpDrop in that OpDrop column, you don't have them, we get them from our warehouses or from Little Brownie. And those are brought to the load-in day. And the girls repackage them. You can see in this picture we have a soldier there working with one of our girls, and they've just put together a case of mints. So when these cookies come in, if a troop is bringing them in, they're not bringing them all boxed up in the right cases, they're just bringing a bunch of cookies. And so one of the things that the girls can do is to repackage the cookies into cases. They put a sticker on them, you can see this little white sticker that says that they're from Girl Scouts Heart of the Hudson. And they have an email address, which is Allison's email address, the volunteer who runs the program for us. And she often gets letters and pictures from the soldiers who receive these cookies. The girls at the event also can make cards that get put into the cases. They can also make separate cards for the military hospitals that cookies go to, where they're, wishing the soldiers well, good recovery, and things like that. So they have the opportunity to do those two things. They also decorate the big containers, which are probably about 5 feet high, that these cases go into to go onto the ships. So they can draw on them, they can write messages on them, and then we usually put a little girl, usually a Daisy or a little Brownie, into the container boxes, and they get handed the cases and they start to line them up in the box, and then they step on the first level and they put in more cookies. They have a great deal of fun doing it, and it gives them the opportunity to see more of this. What is this program that we ask people to buy cookies for? What does it mean to send cookies to soldiers? They can look at the scrapbooks that Allison has with pictures of past events and with letters from soldiers. And this year, since it's the 15th anniversary, we're going to be having some of the soldiers who have received cookies over the years and are now back home. Some of them have been invited, and they will be coming to talk to the girls. We also will have some of the Honor Flight World War II veterans there to speak to the girls. We will have some of the people who were there in the beginning that started this with Allison, who haven't been around for the last several years, but they've been invited to come back. We usually have some government officials who come, and it's a really great, fun day. It starts at 8 o'clock. People can start coming at 8 o'clock to drop off their cookies or their cookies, and it usually runs until roughly around noontime. It depends on how many people we have helping and how many cases we get and everything. But it's a really fun event. We encourage you to consider going to it with your girls and letting them experience it for themselves.
You
It
don't
is a
have
hot
to
day
be
in the
there the
sun.
whole time. It could be,
Pardon me?
you could decide you're going to be there for an hour. You said it was an 8 to noon thing, but
Right.
troops and girls could be there for any part of that time.
Right, yes, and they can spend some of the time helping out, like this girl is doing, and then the rest of the time going around and enjoying the activities. The shop is also there. We have special Operation Cookie Drop patches. and some other fun stuff there. It usually is a hot sunny day, so if you do go, make sure that you bring some sunscreen and lots of water.
And appropriate footwear like this girl has on.
Yes.
And
Let's
you
see.
don't have to register for this event. We'd love to know if you are coming, but it is not something you have to register ahead to attend.
Nope, you can just show up that day. Okay. Let's see.
There's
Here's a
another
question.
question here. Someone was saying that she doesn't understand why she has cookies, and let me read her question. I believe that her extra cookies are probably they're probably extras from her initial order.
What
And
was the question,
okay,
Marianne?
in my rewards tab, I have all my girls. I'm sorry, let me just find it.
Okay.
What about those left over and not sold yet from rounding up the cases at initial order?
Okay. So are you
So
going to answer that?
why don't you?
Okay. Um, if you still have cookies left, of course you do have to pay for those. Your troop owns them. So there are several ways that you can try and sell them. First of all, the girls in your troop who did sell cookies can contact their customers and thank them again for buying cookies and supporting the troop, and they can ask them, we happen to have some cookies left. Would you like any more cookies? And oftentimes people will say, you know, I did finish those mints. Do you have any more mints? I never bought a Savannah Smile and I'd kind of like to try it. So you will probably be able to sell some of your cookies that way. You can also divide them up among the families. If you've got 20 boxes and you've got 10 girls, give each family 2 boxes of cookies and say, you know, we have to sell these or it's going to come out of our true profit. So either buy them or find somebody to buy them.
Some
If you
people
have a
on Facebook too to say that they have
right,
cookies.
right, it's great to use your social media sites to let people know that you still have cookies that you're willing to sell for them to them. If you have a lot of cookies, you can certainly do another booth sale. And if you do own those cookies, so if you have a few cases of cookies and you want to set up a little booth even 3 or 4 weeks from now, you can do that. What we do ask you to do is pay attention to the freezer use by date that's on the cookies, which is September 1st of 2016. So you don't want to sell anything after September 1st, and you really should try to sell them, you know, by the beginning of August, or you're going to have people complaining that you sold them cookies that weren't good anymore.
Some people
But
use
there's
Memorial Day as another opportunity to ask people to donate to to Operation Cookie Drop. And we'll be collecting the cookies on June 4th, so that might be an opportunity for you as well.
yes, that's a good answer. I'm trying to scroll through too to see if there's anything else.
I think we've done them.
Somebody says I have a difference of minus 50 showing after I entered all of my cookie booth orders divided for each girl. I can't figure out why there is a difference. And that's Jennifer. Jennifer, if you would contact one of us, send us an email with your troop number. We can look at it for you and get back to you. We might be able to figure it out. We'll try. So that would be either mbrell, which is MBREHL at girlscoutshh.org. Mine's a little longer. It's R Perego, so it's RPERREGO at girlscoutshh.org. And if you can't remember them, you can send it to product sales at girlscoutshh.org.
And our names and emails are on all of the publications you have related to cookies. Not the cookie card, but anything that GSHH made, you have our email address probably.
Okay, and somebody said They had 45 cookies left over from rounding up, 15 from a booth, and the goal-getters didn't sell it all. So it was a lot for a small troop. Well, we're sorry to hear that. Like we said, we just suggested some other ways that you might be able to sell them. But as far as the 45 from your initial order goes, when you do this next year, you might want to talk to your service unit cookie chair or one of them, because there is a way that you can remove cookies from a girl's order. You have to be really careful about how you do it, but we could walk you through it so that you don't want to have 10 boxes of Savannah Smiles left over. So if you only needed 2 boxes, you would remove 2 boxes from your order and then you would pick them up at a cookie cupboard. It's a little more work on your part, but you wouldn't have those cookies left over. If you're going to have 10 boxes of Samoas left over, you're probably going to sell them in no time. But you know, we do know that sometimes, especially for a new troop, it can be a lot. Also, if you have a lot of extra cookies and you have orders for a gift of caring for Operation Cookie Drop, instead of putting them in the virtual column, you can put them in the GOC column, and then that will take care of some of your extras. You would just have to get them to the load-in or get them to us for the load-in.
I think we've covered the questions.
I think that we have, yes.
I'll go to the next slide.
Okay.
Yay! These are real girls in our council. We've seen other pictures of real girls in our council. These girls had a booth sale a few weeks ago, and would you guess they're daisies? Everyone had one of those face masks, but you can imagine how many of them kept them on for their whole booth sale. Not one. But they had fun at their booth sale, and we want to say thank you to you for being on the call tonight. We hope we've illuminated this process for you. And as Roberta said, if you need any more help, you can contact us or your service unit cookie chair. We will have this recorded. It will be on the website tomorrow. Go to the cookie page, and I think we'll have the webinar on that first opening cookie page. It will say webinar, rewards webinar, but that give us a little time tomorrow to convert the file, but it will be up there tomorrow. And you've got 2 weeks to put your order in, which is great for rewards.
Yeah. And if you don't find it tomorrow, check the next day, because we aren't the ones who put it up there, so we have to do some tweaking of it, and then we have to get somebody else to put it up there, and we don't know what her workload is like tomorrow. So it could be the next day. So, but do keep checking for it, and if you felt that it was helpful, spread the word to other people that they can check it out on the website.
So thank you all for attending. It was nice to be in touch with some of you, and hopefully we've taught you a thing or two, and you can tell someone else how to do it. Thank you, and good night.
Somebody asked what the website address is. Our website is girlscoutshh.org, Girl Scouts with an S, hh.org. And then you click on cookies, and that'll bring you to the landing page for cookies, and we should have it on that first page. If you don't see it on the first page, check under, I think it's troop information.
There's one that says troop cookie chairs, and there's one that says for leaders. And honestly, I think we should have them in both places so that it's, try and have it in a few places so it's easy to find.
Right. Okay. I think that that is it. Thank you all very much.
Good night.
Good night.